Hello, it's Lisa Turner from Psycademy, and one of the questions today I want to talk to you about one of the commonest questions I get asked, and it's how do I increase my spiritual connection? How do I communicate with my guides? How do I get to experience more spirituality? What do I need to do? And over the past 25 years, I have been researching and experimenting and creating processes that are pretty much guaranteed to result in any individual feeling more divine. And I actually don't like the word connected to source. And the reason I don't like the word connected to, because that suggests that you're not it. And that's actually part of the problem. So, oh, by the way, if you have any questions, pop them in the question box. If you're interested in this, if you want to know more about how you can be connected to source, ask me a question, put something in the comment box, and I will send you something magical shortly at some point. And it might be today and it might be later. So what was that? Where was I? Yes. So as I said, so the word connection is even part of the problem. The thing I want you to understand, the thing that I get really frustrates me and I get really, it saddens me. And it's this idea. It's the idea that a lot of spiritual schools and a lot of psychics will tell you, and they'll say something along like this: well, I'm the seventh child of a seventh child, or I come from this lineage or this other lineage or that other lineage. So I'm psychic because I've got the gift. And here's why I hate that word gift, because what this suggests is that there's somebody or something outside of you. You're here and there's something over there that decides whether or not to give you this gift or not. And there's like, well, I just wasn't given the gift because I'm not special enough. And that is BS. You are special enough. You are special. You are divine. And the thing is, you don't need to be given anything. You don't need to get anything. What you need to do is forget. What do I mean forget? You need to forget that you're not divine, that you're not source, that source isn't within you right now. That's what you need to forget. You don't need to get anything. You need to forget. You need to forget the programming and the blocks the blocks that stop you from experiencing yourself as being divine. So that's my message. That's what I want you to understand. I can see questions coming up, and I'm gonna if you have questions, I'll look at those in a minute. But I want to finish this piece because it's really exciting. So you need to forget the blocks. You need to forget the programming that has you think that you're already not divine. Now, that one of the things that also drives me nuts is this idea that we have to wait. We here have to wait until spirit out there comes and decides whether or not to talk to us. Spirit, source, will speak to every single one of you. Will speak to you right now. You can all get your own messages, okay? You don't need to just wait. And here's the other thing. It's like, oh, you just have to wait until spirit decides, or you need to meditate harder, or pray harder, or want it more, or release attachment and want it less. And all of this drives me nuts, because what you actually need is a process that enables you to release those blocks. Now, this is what we've developed. We call this our spiritual technology, that has you forget that you're not divine, or remember that you are divine, that you are source all the time. And anyone or anything that has you think that you're not divine, that you're not source, that's something trying to give you a limiting belief, or it's just a limiting belief presenting itself to you that you've already got. And it's just there to remind you of that so that you can release that. Now, if you want to know more about the spiritual technology, pop a little post and we will let you know how you can find out more about that. So the challenge isn't to do something, to get something. The challenge is that you need to forget that you're small. You need to let go of those beliefs that have you think that you're not enough, that you're not good enough, or that your vibration is too low. Let's talk about vibration. So we hear this like, oh, I need to raise my vibration. So I'm down here. This is where I am. And I've got to do something to raise my vibration. Well, here's the thing. You are naturally able to vibrate at source is ready to connect with you right now. I don't need to do anything to have source come and say, hey, you want to chat? I don't need to do anything. All I need to do is to assist you to remove what's having you forget that that's possible for you. And part of that process is this spiritual technology that we use. So let's talk about vibration. So your natural vibration is high enough for you to connect and be at one with source at any moment. But you will likely, unless you experience that any time that you want at will, the chances are that you've got some kind of programming that's stopping you doing that. There's something in the way. So what our spiritual technology does is it removes the blocks. Now, if you think about it, if you had a whole ton of rubble that you're carrying around, like that would weigh you down, literally, right? So what our spiritual technology does is it enables you to put down the rubble, put down the blocks, so that your vibration, you are naturally lighter. You naturally vibrate at that higher level. So you don't need to do anything to try and get this mass of blocked energy to vibrate higher. What you need to do is let go of what's lowering your vibration. Yeah. It's like saying to a stone, you need to learn how to float, rather than saying, well, you're not a stone. Let go of the stone and the balloon will float by itself. Imagine you're a balloon attached. Imagine that you're a balloon with a stone attached that's pulling you down. It's not about telling the stone to float. It's about talking to the balloon and saying, you're a balloon. You'll just float. Just let go of the stone. Because those blocks, that's the stony block that's keeping your vibration low, that's stopping you float. Now, and so Donna says here, cleansing. Now, this is a term that's used a lot, cleansing. Now, sometimes people have, so a lot of people, when they say cleansing, they talk about kind of doing some visualization that imagines you clearer. And that works to a small extent sometime, and it works in the moment. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't necessarily, and I've done I spent 25 years researching spiritual technology, and whenever anyone uses that word cleansing, they're not typically referring to the kind of spiritual technology that I'm referring to, that has you just snip the tie that's holding that block to you so that this block leaves you and you float. Now, if you want to know more about that spiritual technology, it is, it's a little bit esoteric, it's a little bit edgy, and the biggest challenge with our spiritual technology is people don't believe that it's possible. Or people think, oh, I just need to do more visualization and I need to say more affirmations. Affirmations is not the spiritual technology, by the way. That's not it. That's not how it works. So if you want to learn more about that, pop a little thing in the comment box and we will send you something that will let you know how you can get hold of it. So I don't think it's set up quite yet, but when it is, I'll put a post and then you can post after that. So if you have any questions, let me know. What are your questions? What are your questions right now? Was that useful? Did you like that? I'm loving all the loves and likes coming along here. I don't know who's doing those, but awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So Donna says, yes, I'm thinking of saying yes to the spiritual technology, knowing more about the spiritual technology. Don't worry, we'll get something to you, Donna. We will figure it out. Or actually private message our group, message our face page. Face page? That's it. Yeah, our face page, our fan page. I think we should all call it face page. I think it's a way better word. I'll reach out to Mark and say, you know what? I think face page is a better word for it. So awesome. So no other questions coming in. Don't worry. We will get that information to you if you want to know more about the spiritual technology. And if you have any questions, if this has challenged you, if you've gone to go, oh, that's not what I've heard. That's not what I learned. My spiritual teacher told me that I had to be born with a gift and I wasn't born with a gift, or I was born with a gift. So I'm okay and I don't need to do anything else. Because here's the thing, even thinking you're born with a gift, that creates separation from you and other people, because you're the gifted one and other people aren't the gifted one. And here we are, where the idea is, like the whole idea of spiritual ascension is, we become one, right? So if you think that you've got a gift, and I know this is edgy and some of you are going to go, whoa, Lisa, what are you saying? But if you think you're born with a gift and other people aren't, or you've learned the gift that other people can't learn, there's separation. You're different to them. You're separate to them. That's ego, darlings. So Donna says, I've been taught to ground, that ground and cleanse was enough. Well, here's the thing, and I will ask this as a question to you. My experience is that, so it's a question. My experience is, I can connect, and I don't connect with my guide. I can invoke my guide at any time, anywhere, anyhow. So I can communicate with an extremely highly evolved guide. I can get insights that are there instantly. And I'm not talking about telling you what color your undies are and what your dead dog's name was. I'm talking about And I'm not talking about predicting the future either. And I'm not talking about seeing the past. I'm talking about sharing insights that are utterly transformational, being able to release negative emotions from somebody in an instant with the aid of my guide. Now, if you can do that with just, and I don't, like when you say cleansing, I don't know what you mean by cleansing, because most people, when they say that, they're talking about some kind of a visualization, and it doesn't have the energy of the technology. Now, and here's the thing, if it works and you are absolutely experience yourself as spiritually divine all the time perfectly, then it's working. Effectiveness is the measure of truth. Effectiveness is the measure of truth. I say it again because it's so important. Doesn't matter what the label is, right? If you know, if you want to learn if you want to learn something and you're not able to do it now. So Donna, you said, can I give you a message? Well, that suggests to me, why don't you get the message yourself? If you're asking me for that, then maybe what you're doing isn't enough. And I don't know, maybe you're already enlightened to such a level that you need no more. If that's the case, fantastic. That's fantastic. Effectiveness is the measure of truth. I know with our spiritual technology, it works every single time without fail. The only time it doesn't work is when the client doesn't follow the instruction. So it's a bit like saying, well, I joined a gym and I'm still fat and unfit. Did you go to the gym? No. Well, it's not the gym's fault, is it? So Donna's getting rid of negative energy. Again, see, I have this principle that I see negative implies that there's positive energy and there's negative energy. And the only truth about energy is that the only energy is love. The only emotion, true emotion, is love. And everything we experience is resistance to love. So you don't need to get rid of negative energy. You need to get rid of what's blocking energy. And that's what the spiritual technology does. And if you're working to clear negative energy, that's actually, I know it's common parlance, but it's thinking about it the wrong way. It's a bit like, trying to think, I'll find a good metaphor at some point. Yeah. But it's like, do you need, if you've got it's like what you're experiencing as negative energy is actually the resistance to love. And when you can experience love all the time, anywhere, anyhow, and you just experience that, then your technology is working. Then it is a true spiritual technology. So, So, this thing, I've taken on far too much baggage. And I'm not quite sure what that next word is. Get rid of get rid of their negativity. So the thing is, with energy, there's only energy, and it's either energy that's serving you and working for you, or it's energy that's not. Now, I live near a surf beach, 2 miles from a really fantastic surf beach. Now, sometimes the waves knock me over and I get a mouthful of sand. And you could say, that was a really negative wave and we need to stop that negative wave. Or we could just say, Lisa, get on the board in time next time and you can ride that wave. That's the difference. There's no negative energy. There's just energy you're not riding, you're not following, you're not using. And you experience it as negative because it's not flowing through you, around you. It's battering you. And that's what we change with the spiritual technology. Because when your vibration is high because you've released that what's holding you down, then you will just float on any tide. Oh, okay, I got my meat. So I'm sorry if I'm misunderstood there. I've had people with skills, much negative energy. It's hard to be positive. Some people taking the good and leave the bad. Again, this judgment of good and bad. When you can transcend the judgment of good and bad, that's when you've really got it, my love. And I know, you're using terms that are commonly used, and I commonly hear people say, and when you said you've helped people and you're leaving you drained and tired, then you need the spiritual technology, darling. That's what you need. You need spirit prac. Okay, so I spoke for nearly 15 minutes now. So I hope that was useful. This is one of my favorite topics. So if you want to know more about this spiritual technology and about how, because the thing is, right, when you understand this, when you are above all of it, when you are in that space of being connected to the divine, that's when you're a true spiritual leader. And a true spiritual leader doesn't get drained. And by spiritual leader, I don't mean someone who's standing on a pulpit or on an auditorium talking to 20,000. That's one form. You might be working with people one-to-one. however you do it. So a spiritual leader is somebody who works with spirit for the highest good of all including themselves. But more of that another time. So till next time, I hope you liked it. If you liked this video, share it, leave a comment, click the likey lovey thing. I'm loving all those hearts, my darling. I don't know who that is, but I'm sending you tons and tons of love right back at you. So let's get together. Let's get you remembered that you are source. Remind you of that with the technology. Awesome. Lots of love. Bye for now, my darlings.